Oh, good afternoon. Good evening if you're out east, and happy Thursday. Pretty excited to be with you today for a special product launch. Tomorrow is Canada Day, and Monday, my normal motivational Monday, is Independence Day in the States. So this will be my last session until next Tuesday, where we're going to do a special vibration plate workout about maintaining or regaining your independence physically. So today I'm very excited because this is something that you can totally incorporate into your vibration plate exercises. Is the new PowerFlow X dumbbell. And I'm going to go over through some of the goodies that come with this. But to make sure I'm accurate, this is a new product just launched. It is on site. And the normal retail price is going to be $179. You're going to see comparable stuff out there for more like the 300 range. And the launch price right now is $149.99. I know certainly here in Canada, I was at some local retailers and saw some certainly less robust versions of these. Click weights are kind of all over the place right now, but as someone that uses them on an environment that shakes you while you're using them, there's certain things that I've learned over the years in using these types of products that just identify with me of a little bit more care, attention to detail. So I just got this yesterday. The poor UPS man had 2 sets of these come to me yesterday. So I look forward to using dumbbells. There's some pros if you do not use weights now, or you're considering, do I do a dumbbell? Do I do a barbell? What am I trying to accomplish? The value is here. You're going to see these things, like I say, retailing for the $200 to $300. I wanted to give you, I have a little bit of information that's information for, I wouldn't say just for my guys, but a lot of my guys tend to appeal to this. They're trying to build the strength, the upper body. From a lot of my ladies, this is a great way to tone upper body, fatigue faster on any of your floor-based or vibration plate weight-bearing exercises. I'm going to show you a few ways in which this works. But what are some of the reasons that you might want to work with dumbbells versus a barbell if you're doing that type of thing now? Different types of exercises, obviously different technique. But one of the big advantages, in my opinion, and some of the articles you'll see out there, if you're comparing these things, is when you're working independently with a set of dumbbells versus a barbell, there's not the compensation factor. So for example, if you're right-handed, we tend to be more strong on the right side, and the left side acts more maybe as the stabilizer in the barbell equation. Whereas if you're working with dumbbells, you're going to really quickly identify deficiencies, weaknesses, differences in tone. They can be a little bit safer for the same reason. You're not overcompensating and lifting more just because of your stance and so forth than you possibly should be. So you're going to find those weaknesses and be able to address them probably in an easier fashion if you're working with dumbbells. Like I say, as they are working independently, it's forcing them to work harder. And you require more stabilization. So when you're working independently with 2 weights versus a single barbell, there's more destabilization going, especially if you're doing it on your vibration plate. So let's get to where you are today. Tell me where you're from. If you're joining me for this special launch, I do apologize. I was a little bit tardy in getting here today. I had to haul these down the stairs and get them out of the box. So I've had a little bit of a workout. The new set, the PowerFlow X, is capable of up to 55 pounds. And one of the biggest things that I noticed as soon as I took this out of the box, because I have owned multiple sets, multiple brands. If you use click weights now, or it's something that you've been considering, let me know where you're from, why this would be fabulous in your workout space, because today we're going to give away a set of this new PowerFlow X series. Hello, Adriana, and hello, Linda, and hello, Facebook user from Arkansas. I was cutting off my head there. So one of the coolest things about this, I'm a girl, is it's all black and chrome. It's going to fit with any environment as far as aesthetics. But it's very easy to adjust this. So I kind of wanted to give you a close-up of the weight today because I'm going to bring it closer to camera. So I'm not going to be doing a ton of exercises on the plate. I do want to just highlight what comes in the box because your experience with this is going to be very similar to mine. I have not personally worked with this individual weight very much because I just got it. But I have worked with this style of weight, and you're going to love not only the versatility, but the biggest reason I love working with something like this over the traditional, because you can spend a lot of money on weights, but you can invest in a lot of floor space. You know, you get the old rack and you get the 5, 10, 50, you know, this is kind of very convenient. It's taking up less real estate. You know, if it's summer like me and you want to do a little bit of your exercise outside, you're not having to run up and down the stairs every time you want to adjust something. So I want to just highlight some of the function on this. And I'm going to bring my camera a little bit closer to see if I can get you to see it closer. Okay. So it's kind of a matte black, and each of these plates is a 5-pound increment. So there's, of course, the weight of the bar itself coming into the equation. But on the one end here, you'll see the Lifepro logo on one end, but on the other end, there's a little black knob that, oh, geez, I'm sorry, I just totally, there. A little black knob that you lift, and you'll actually feel there's little grooves for your thumb and your index finger. So right now it is set at 55 pounds, which is the max setting. And if I had one on each side of the vibration plate, and you want to mimic some deadlifts or some backwards rows or things like that. So to lift this underneath so you can see, I'm so proud that I can do this. I wouldn't be able to do this with two, but there is a base for this to mount into. And I'm just going to show you how easily you can adjust by moving along here. Again, tell me where you're from if you're looking at this, if you use this type of device now. I'm very impressed with the quality of this one. I'm going to get into that here in a bit. I'm blocking. So you just lift, you slide. I'm going to bring this down to 15, which I find if I'm using 2 dumbbells and I want to fatigue fast, and I'm trying to get some definition going, I like to have anywhere from about 15 to 20 pounds per side when I'm on the plate. So you see here, it lifts out, and we've got a single plate on each side. The handle on this is all steel. I'm very impressed with how solid the grip is, but without being uncomfortable. I've got little itty bitty hands, and there's a little bit of a, almost like a nail file, but not so fine texture that's been ground into the handle of this. So very nice, very solid steel. And then you simply place it back in. On its own without any of the weights is 5. Okay. So if you've never worked with weights before, one of the biggest suggestions that I can offer is technique. It's not about how much you can lift or how long you can hang on to it for or how many reps that you can do. If you're going to get into this type of an exercise, and I absolutely recommend that you do, focus on your technique, and maybe that's just standing in front of the mirror and watching yourself do that first bicep curl. Maybe you're doing front raises. There's different ways to just get into the motion. If you are dealing with arthritis, chronic joint pain, swelling, inflammation, I would in fact not recommend adding a whole lot of weight. Just get your body used to this new range of motion that you're working on. Work on increasing strength at your pace, but get the basis, that good foundation of a solid technique going before you start adding challenge and pushing yourself before you're ready, especially if you're dealing with a weak side, perhaps you're dealing with a recent injury, doing movement and getting that lymph and circulation and returning strength is something you want to work towards. But as far as adding weight and challenging yourself, you want to make sure that you're moving forward at an appropriate pace and you're not dealing with any inflammation, things like that. So another really good tool, I'm going to put this back in here, as a safety thing, because I have dogs running around and kids running around, and when I store them on, I have them on a bench or a stool over on the weight side of my studio here with a mirror. I always leave them at the 55 pounds. So if my daughter, she can't just pick them up and bring half of it upstairs, or she's pretty tough, she could probably do 25, but I just leave them that way, or if the dog goes running by. But I leave them intact, and I was impressed I could pick those up. If you want to move them, the base itself, you can see how I'm getting my fingers underneath here, doesn't seem like a big deal. There's also at the other end So if you do want to move them, or you're working out in a different area, or you're positioning it for a circuit that maybe you're doing, there's two ways you can lift them: in the middle on the base, or on the end to the side. So however you feel more comfortable. If you find that that's hard and it's hurting your back and it's pulling your arms, take half the weight out of it and move it in two pieces. You don't need to be a rock star first day. Okay, so what comes in the box? So this was in the box. There was a rather large what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, zip tie around the middle. So it was all intact and it was set at the 55 pounds. So I do caution you when you're taking this out of the box, if you cannot deadlift 55 pounds without injuring yourself, make an adjustment on this, cut the zip tie off, make an adjustment, bring it down, to half of that and move it in pieces to put it into place. If even from the front door, don't overexert yourself just because you're excited to use your new toy. Again, if you're just joining me, I'm going to get to some questions, and I would be really honored to give away a set of this today. So tell me why you need it, what your experience may or may not be with it. And there's lots of reasons to consider working out with dumbbells over other things. So this is in the box. I know I'm cutting my head off, but I want you to see what is included. So there's a healthy, sample of exercises. This thing is much bigger than it looks. Look at that. So we open this right up. So when you say, well, what do I do to tone my triceps? Or what do I do? So there's a couple of different things on this. I want to highlight here at the very bottom. It kind of reviews very quickly how to set up a workout. Select 4 to 8 exercises according to your fitness level. There's some really good tips here. And I know it might seem silly, but, many of us out there talk workout and we talk protocols. But, if you don't have an exercise background, or you've never worked with a qualified trainer, and you've never lifted weights, you may want some guidance in setting up something that's appropriate, not only for your goals and your current, level of conditioning, but, short and long term, or are there past injuries that need to be addressed? What are the goals long term? What else are you doing as an activity? So there's lots of reasons to work with a good trainer, talk to somebody at your local gym, and use this as a tool, to challenge yourself further, get stronger, build better bones. We understand the premise of doing weight-bearing exercises. I love incorporating this to the vibration plate. So if we look at exercises, there's a bazillion different things that you could incorporate onto the vibration plate with your weights, just with, without having to listen to one of my programs. A lot of these are weight bearing or variations of exercises. The vibration plate is simply an environment that makes those exercises a little more challenging, a little bit more effective, reduces the amount of time that you have to do it. And it's kinder to the body than doing those exercises on the floor. Partly because of all these little micro movements that are occurring while you're doing that exercise, but it reduces the amount of impact because you're finishing quicker. So fatiguing quicker. This is a really great way to fatigue faster, accelerate weight loss. It's not about building big burly muscles. You have to have a lot of technique, lift a lot of weight, eat the right food over a lot of years to condition to those types of levels. If you are looking at using one of the dumbbells on your vibration plate, please keep in mind weight capacity. So sometimes when I ask customers about weight capacity, that they're thinking themselves personally, and that's part of the equation. But if you do, and I've done a few sessions where I incorporate weights or medicine balls or kettlebells, all different types of resistance tools on the plate. You just need to factor in your body weight and the weight that you'd like to add to your body or within function. So this is the Rumble X Plus. It's capable of 330 pounds. So less my body weight and the amount of the weight that I might be using. So you just want to make sure if you are adding weight, that it's within the capacity of your machine. And I think you'll find it's really, if you've been using a vibration plate for some time and you're looking for some new ways to incorporate and take those benefits a little bit further, this is a super simple add-on. It's not going to take up much more space than you're already committing to the vibration plate itself. And it's going to be a versatile tool for kind of anybody in the house. and find somewhere for the wall. This is great. And I'm not saying when you get something like this, if you don't have an exercise background now, or you're not doing things regularly, you don't have to do all of this as it suggests. Pick a few exercises. Maybe it's one that you're adding on to a different workout you're already doing, or maybe you're training for something specific, and you want to build a particular part of your body up, or for a skill set or a sport. So, how you train and exercise, you may have guidance for that. If you do not, these are just some suggestions with areas to target to kind of help get you started. And the greatest thing about some of these tools is just variety, which is the spice of life. Mix things up from week to week, whether it's the amount of weight that you're lifting, the type of reps that you're using, doing it on your vibration plate, doing it on your velo cycle while you're sitting there and pedaling the lower body. There's all kinds of lifestyle tools that you have now from Lifepro, and are using. This is just another way to get more done at the same time, and really wrap up some of those fitness benefits that I know many of you are looking for. Again, I want to know where you're from, what the goals are, if you've used these before, because we're going to give one away today. And I need you to make a comment if you'd like to be part of that happening. We are giving this away just in the US today. I need myself a beverage here. Iced coffee on a wonderful afternoon. So let me see who I have here. I'm going to catch my breath a bit. Should have been an auctioneer. I lost weight. This is coming from Linda. I have lost weight and have loose skin at 67. I'm working out with weights and I'm building muscle. Good for you. I've been using 7-pound weights, but I'm wanting to up the weight to build more muscles. So my husband, I think we both benefit and need to consider space, which is a factor. It really is. I'll be honest. I'm, in the 5th decade of my life here very soon, and back in the day, it was cool to have that weight rack and all these different things. And I'll tell you right now, I've got a lot of old, very good quality, but old weights that it's such a pain in the butt to take them on and take them. They're good quality, but I've had them listed forever and nobody wants to buy them, but everybody's getting these. It's the convenience. It makes sense. It's one of those things, to be honest with, that when I first saw these coming out, I thought, why didn't I think of that? It just so makes sense, right? So ingenuity at its best. This is great for me and my hubby as well, because it's got such a range in the weight that you can access through this. As I said, I've got 2 sets, so certainly more than I need short term, but it's certainly some versatility to grow, and you're investing one time, right? And in the same amount of floor space. So Adriana, I love that it has a poster to help create so many workouts. Exactly. And sometimes we know these things, but if you haven't worked out with dumbbells in a while, or ever, it's that dilemma again. It's something new, it's different. How do I get started? So keep it simple. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't overdo it. And like I say, what you'll really notice working with dumbbells versus a barbell situation is that independence. One side working over the other, it's going to point out those deficiencies, correct imbalances. And it's a little bit more about, of course, do some pelvic tilts, stand on your plate. It's that beauty destabilization that adds to it. That's just going to make everything else that you're doing as a standing exercise so much more effective. Facebook user, I am working on some rehab, but love how this could fit into any levels I can work up. If you're working in rehab, really depending on what you're rehabilitating for, but a lot of times we would think that this is not a good thing, or a vibration machine is scary, but there's a lot of research. You don't have to look very long to realize that weight and bearing weight on your body is it's how we built our bones and our muscle structure from the day that we were born, and it's how we recoup and rebuild. And sometimes if you're recovering from a situation where you're unable to bear weight, or you're unable to stand, you've got deficiencies below the waist where your mobility is limited, you're relying on that upper body and that chest and the shoulders way more. So it may make sense, at least do what you can. You know what I mean? I remember my Oma, her first stroke, she was so stubborn. She wouldn't do anything like this, very German, but she could talk and she could yell and, pick apart the sandwich that I brought her. So I remember I don't remember what it's called, but it's that you blow into it to strengthen an exercise, and it works the core. And I remember saying to her, instead of yelling at me, put this in and blow. And she And it was a very basic starting exercise. So if you are rehabilitating and you are finding you're sitting on your butt more than you need to, this is a great tool. Just preset it at something conservative. Perhaps you're just starting with the bar itself. Got to show you that once more. And maybe you haven't done these type of movements before, and you get into a rehab situation and you realize that you're not immortal. You tend to pick things up sometimes on the rehab because you don't want to digress further. You want to improve and get that independence and quality of life back. So using just this to get used to, you're sitting in the chair and maybe you're just doing some arm lifts, or mimicking, picking up the remote control and putting it on your lap, anything functionally, get moving, get that lymph, that circulation going, and prepare your body, get used to when you progress to the bigger stuff. They're just so sexy. Okay. Fantastically helpful. I'm glad you think so. Well, from 5 to 55 is very versatile. It's more than enough for most folks. And if you are, using 2 sets, you're well beyond 100 pounds. So please keep that in mind. It's not always about going for broke. I could probably deadlift 152, 200 pounds if I had to, but I'd be paying for it the next day. And why? As I get older, I don't need to hurt. No pain, no gain. I think that was just marketing in the 80s. I have Christine here from Chicago. I have never used this type of weight. If you ever have used weight, it's a huge advantage because the whole technique piece I was talking about, you kind of know, you know what exercises you're doing now. This is just a little bit more of a versatile tool than having to take the time and stop or pick up a different set. The big thing for me not only is the versatility and the range and the weight that you've got to play with, but it's not taking up any more floor space, whether I'm just using 5 pounds to start or 55. It's the same amount of real estate. Christina's from Chicago. Tina, hello from St. Louis. Ariana, adjustable weight means not having so many different weights laying around. So this is honestly worth getting. And like I said, it's kind of one of those things where when I first saw them coming out, I was like, that just makes sense. What? Just when you think everything could ever possibly be invented, something like this comes out and you go, of course. What? And then you think about all the money you spent back in the day. Should I go neoprene? Should I go steel? What goes better with my wallpaper? I've tried weights on. I haven't tried weights on a platform at all. Oh, you don't know what you're missing out. My favorite thing to do with weights on a vibration platform, it's very advanced. It's very complicated. But I'll just, I've been in the garden all day, so I'm not going to try and show off right now. Okay, my favorite exercise, of course, is the squat. So this is my favorite thing to do, is just make yourself heavier. If you've got the range of motion, be functional. Keep those heels planted. Hold still, but you're going to feel those quads working overtime and then some. By adding weight to your especially your standing exercise, your squats, your lunges, those type of things, those legs are just going to burn out faster. So if your goal is to burn calories, push to the max, kind of HIIT style training, adding weight is a really, really good way to do it. It's also ideal if you're dealing with any kind of respiratory, cardiac, you just don't have the wind or the energy. Kill yourself and get her done quick by adding weight. It's my favorite little add-on. And that's not by adding a whole rack of 55 pounds yet, I assure you. Okay, excerpt. Tangent. Debbie went off. I'm from Michigan. My space is small. I'd love these. Again, it's a make sense thing. It takes no room to tuck them under a chair or put them beside the couch. Just make sure you don't put somewhere that you'd walk into them with your toe. They are 55 pounds of steel. Linda is from Florida, Pensacola. I hope I say that right. I always screw up names. And Adriana is from Indiana. I have someone, Facebook user from Jonesboro, Arkansas. I did the coolest interview with the cutest massage therapist in Arkansas the other day. I just love your accents, no offense. But everybody thinks I have an accent, and I say A about 75 times in a live, or it's just the way that I roll. Mark from PA, hello, how are you? And Linda, thumbs up. So I hope you enjoyed my rambling. Like I said, I'm looking forward to just playing with these a little bit more, but I'm not here to tell you how to use these. I'm just telling you how simple they can be, regardless of what level of fitness you are, whether you're in an exercise or a rehab situation. They're just a really versatile tool that you can incorporate into other things that you're already doing to get more benefit and more effects. Or perhaps it's something you kind of been thinking about, or the ones you have are just a pain in the butt and you don't really get to it. Sometimes getting back to basics is really the best way to get some results going. And this combined with other tools is just going to expedite things for you. So they look good. I just want to show you again, I'm super impressed with the quality of manufacturing. This is like an all steel mat painted. It's not like, it's just impressive. And you can see the dial here. Okay. So you can adjust from your 5, wait, let me get that, 15, 25, 45, 55. Okay. And again, if you're just joining me now and didn't listen to some of my rambling earlier, oh, hang on, I'm going backwards here. Just start with the bar. If you're not even used to lifting weights or you haven't played with them before, get the technique down. Included, as I said, is a very smart, but very elaborate. There's a lot of exercises on here. But as opposed to you having to surf the web or what have you, it's just some visuals. If you've never used this type of tool for exercising before, if you have some, you don't do everything all the time. I can't tell you how many times I'm on a live or I'm doing something on a machine and somebody will say, well, how do I address this? And, oh, I forgot, there's like always 5 or 6 ways to, that I like to exercise a muscle group, but, variety and mixing it up. And, sometimes I forget, oh yeah, how I stretch this way, or, oh, I forgot that lift. I don't do everything all the time. So what I really enjoy about some of these tools is it sometimes, for those of us that have been doing this a very long time, it helps us get some simplicity back. Don't make it exotic and super challenging if you've never done this before. Keep it simple. And the key to success, whether it's your weights or your vibe or you're using both, is consistent, regular use. So, again, one of the big bonuses with this is it can be its standalone thing. But it can also, maybe you didn't do what you were supposed to do at the gym this week, or maybe you're just trying to target a specific area and boost some strength or some toning. It's a really versatile tool, whether it's a standalone set of exercises you're doing or you're incorporating it with other things and other activities. So I want to thank Lifepro for allowing me to review this product today. I don't get impressed too often. I used to rip vibration machines apart for a living, and I'll tell you, there's been some thought and some feedback that's gone into this, and I really appreciate everything from the base to the poster. It's simple little things that just show that they want you to be successful. They want to empower you with your health, and simplicity is we don't have enough of it in the world these days. Karen from Arkansas as well. Well, thank you for, maybe that was you earlier. Thanks for letting me know who you were, Karen. Mark's giving me a thumbs up as well. Well, we are 28 minutes into me rambling about weights. I really haven't shown you a whole bunch of exercises, but what I would love you to do is take a look at what comes in this. If this is something you've been considering, today is the day. It's on for $149, $149 in the US, lifetime warranty, Lifepro support page. I don't have all of the Lifepro has a few different adjustable weights. This is their newest, latest, and greatest. And I have to say, even just from a look perspective, I just love the black and the chrome. I know I'm being girly about this, but I am very impressed with how it presented coming out of the box, and that takes a lot with me. I will also say the price is on as the special launch price this week of $149 again. If you wanted to compare this to some of the other sets, Amber will be doing a comparison on some of the weight sets next week. Today was just at the new PowerFlow X. As I mentioned earlier, this goes up to 55 pounds, and it's available on site as of now. So what I would like to do is do a drum roll. Oh, hello, Miss Kim from Campbell River and from BC. I need to find where my cell phone is. I need to get some intel from my girl Laura and her super dog Olive. Lauren, who's soon to be a bride. We're going to give one of these bad boys away today. And although everyone, there's no reason somebody can't use weights. There's always a purpose that I think you're going to find is of huge benefit. Doesn't matter what walk of life you're coming from. And, you know, maybe there's a challenge or something down the road I see there. So let me see who is here. I'm just giving Lauren a moment to log and do a drum roll. I hope you are still here. I would like to congratulate Tina Stevenson. Tina Stevenson, you are the next contestant on, no, I guess that's another show. This is the Debby Rambling Show. Tina, you're now the proud owner of the new PowerFlow X. You're going to love these, and I can't wait to hear what you say when you get them. What I would like you to do is, as our host has so graciously offered, make sure that you give us your contact information so we know where we're sending these things. And I invite you to come back and do a review, you know, offer some feedback as far as what your impressions were like. I tend to get a little excited about this kind of stuff. It's what I do for a living, and what a great way to make a living. So for you guys, I want to hear some feedback. You can come back into this live. You can join Amber next week, like I say, if you want to compare some of the different models out there. But they're just a great concept. Lifepro's got lots of options available to you. There's never the perfect set for every situation. So look at what your needs are, what your family's needs are, and as you take a look at these online and see what choices are available, Amber can give you some ideas next week. OMG, says Tina. Congratulations. I'm so happy. And happy early Independence Day, and happy early Canada Day for those of you in Canada with me. That's tomorrow, and I will see you for a special Tuesday session next week at 4:30. Thank you times 100. No problem. A million lives. There's a big promo on right now. A million lives. A lot of really cool stuff. Up to 50% off on Lifepro right now. So check that out too if you're looking for things. Tina doesn't need to look for things because she just won a fabulous set of the PowerFlow X's. So thanks so much, Tina, for joining me today. I'm glad that worked out for you. Thank you, everyone else, for your feedback. Hope I give you some common sense, doable ideas today, because it's all about keeping it real and making sure that you're consistent in doing it. It's not about being exotic and having the best moves. So thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you guys after the weekend on Tuesday at my regular time of 4:30 for keeping you independent workout for July, just after July 4th. Thanks so much, guys.